Back between Christmas and New Year's, I spoke at Second Congregational Church in Peabody, Massachusetts, and one of the themes from Burning Religion was highlighted here. This is about the isolation of the parallaxis, our differing opinions, that's found between people, and the need for a miracle to navigate the space between us.
And no matter what somebody tells you, you're not going to agree with anybody else 100% ever in your entire life. Because there's this kind of double problem of looking at something. We have a poinsettia in the middle of the room. Okay, we'll put it in the middle of the room. Now, every one of you who look at it, you see a different angle of the poinsettia. But there's something else that you see behind the poinsettia that's different, that nobody else will see it exactly the same either, and that is the background behind it. You see this corner of the room, and you'll see the altar, and you'll see this corner of the room behind it. It makes everything that you look at very different from another person's perspective. That's how we see the world. So we're kind of like on a point that nobody else understands. We will always have some point of disagreement, which makes this thing that we came to in Christmas so important. The promise of this Savior that comes, and he brings peace on earth. What's the rest of it? Goodwill toward men. All these people who are disagreeing and arguing with one another. And James tells us what happens in those disagreements. We disagree with one another, and from there comes strife and wars and anger. All these tensions are rising up because we are in this point of isolation. And the ministry of reconciliation, this thing of bringing peace to the world that's found in the person of Jesus Christ, is promised, but I'm living between Christmas and the New Year. I'm still there. I'm going, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can make this. The promise came, but it was kind of a mess during Christmas. And now we're trying to live for a future hope of something. This is the tension of it all. But so here's the thing about it is, I believe we must believe within ourselves that making it across the gap to the other person or the other culture, the tensions in our world between the West and the Middle East right now with Islam, I think we have to think of those things as impossible to handle. That there is no possible solution. The tensions that you have with siblings, with parents, with children, with bosses, we have to think of those as impossible tensions. Not because there is no resolution, not because that there's not an answer, it's because we have to understand that the isolation that has happened to the human race has happened because of the problem of sin, and the answer is found in God, and so the solution is not a possible solution, it is an impossible solution from a miracle-working God. It's okay to say, this is impossible. That's when you throw up your hands and you stick it in the hands of God, who does have the answer for impossible situations. That's when you go to prayer. I can't handle this. That's when you relinquish the power that you want to use to transform a situation with your limited understanding of how another person thinks, with your limited understanding of what the future holds or what the past really entailed. It's when you relinquish all of that power and you say, I can't do this thing. And God says, yeah, it's about time you figured that one out.
If you'd like to find out more about Burning Religion, you can go to the website burningreligion.com, or you can look for the book on amazon.com. Thanks for watching.